Most people won't tell you when something about you feels off. They won't confront you. They won't explain it. They won't give you a clear reason either. They'll just slowly become less available, less responsive, less interested. Conversations get shorter. Invitations become less frequent. The energy shifts, but no one says why. And the uncomfortable truth is, people rarely dislike someone for just one reason alone. It's usually a pattern, small behaviors that create subtle tension over time, things that are easy to miss, but easy to feel. Here are 7 reasons why someone might secretly not like you, without ever saying it directly. Not every reason will apply to you, but understanding them can explain why certain connections never quite feel natural. The first way is conversations feel one-sided. Most people don't mind listening, but over time relationships need balance. If interactions consistently revolve around one person's experiences, frustrations, or opinions, the other person may begin to feel like they're just an audience instead of a participant. Sometimes this happens unintentionally. You might be excited, you might be venting, you might just be trying to connect. But when someone rarely feels heard around you, they may slowly disengage without explaining why. Because conversations aren't just about speaking, they're about feeling included. The second reason, your energy feels emotionally heavy. Everyone struggles sometimes, and real friends don't expect constant positivity. But when nearly every interaction feels intense, negative, or draining, people can start to associate the relationship with emotional pressure. They may begin to feel responsible for lifting your mood, or careful about saying the wrong thing. Over time, this can make interactions feel like work instead of connection. And even if they care about you, they may subconsciously create distance to protect their own emotional space. Wanting reassurance is human, but when someone frequently looks for validation about decisions, relationships, or how they're perceived, it can unintentionally create tension. Because reassurance usually doesn't solve insecurity, it only quiets it temporarily. And when someone feels like nothing they say ever fully helps, they may begin to feel powerless in the interaction. Eventually, they may withdraw. Not because they dislike you, but because they don't know how to make the feeling better. A fourth reason is you unknowingly interrupt or override others. Some people speak quickly, some people think out loud, some people just get excited mid-conversation. But when someone consistently feels talked over, cut off, or redirected before finishing their thought, it can create subtle frustration, because feeling heard is one of the most basic psychological needs. Even small interruptions, repeated often enough, can make someone feel like their voice doesn't fully matter. And that feeling lingers longer than most people realize. An important fifth reason is you give advice when understanding was needed. When someone shares a problem, our instinct is often to fix it. We offer solutions, suggestions, strategies. But sometimes people aren't looking for answers. They're looking to feel understood. And when someone feels like their emotions are being solved instead of acknowledged, they may feel dismissed, even if your intention was helpful. Over time, this can make conversations feel transactional instead of supportive. The sixth reason is your social awareness feels slightly off. Most social rules are unspoken. Timing, tone, personal boundaries, reading the room. These things aren't always obvious. But when someone consistently says things that feel slightly inappropriate, slightly too personal, or slightly poorly timed, others may begin to feel uncomfortable without fully understanding why. It's rarely about one moment. It's about repeated small moments that create subtle friction. And because people often avoid awkward conversations, they simply create distance instead. And the seventh reason is, they sense insecurity you may not notice. People are often more perceptive than we think. Small signs of insecurity, self-deprecating comments, constant comparison, difficulty accepting compliments, can shape how others interact with us. Not because insecurity is unlikable, but because it changes the dynamic. Sometimes people feel unsure how to respond. Sometimes they feel pressure to constantly reassure. Sometimes they feel like nothing they say will be enough. And over time, this can make the interaction feel fragile instead of natural. But here's something important. Someone secretly not liking you doesn't always mean you've done something wrong. Chemistry matters, timing matters, emotional capacity matters, and not everyone will connect with everyone. Trying to be liked by everyone usually leads to becoming less authentic, not more accepted. Awareness isn't about becoming perfect. It's about understanding how small behaviors shape how people feel around us. Because often, tiny adjustments create completely different experiences. And the right people won't require you to constantly analyze yourself just to feel accepted. They'll simply feel natural to be around, and you'll feel the same. That's usually the connection worth keeping. If this made you reflect on certain interactions, that's not a bad thing. Self-awareness isn't criticism, it's clarity, and clarity makes relationships simpler. Alpha brain theory isn't about changing who you are. It's about understanding how the mind works, so your choices become intentional instead of accidental. Because sometimes the smallest psychological shifts create the biggest social differences, and most people never realize it. If you enjoyed this video and want more, please hit the subscribe button.